I was excited to go down to the park too, but I'm like, it's gonna be so windy down there.
Plus the water, right?
Yeah.
Because the water's there. I think it like is more. Yeah, I was like, we could do it outside, and I literally went for a walk. In the first like 2 minutes, I was like,
I must admit that we got to be grateful it's spring. It's like actually. Usually you get a few extra weeks of winter, but it looks like we get a little. Spring started a little early, but I jinxed
Let's
it,
see.
so we'll see.
It'll still snow. So.
let's see.
Yeah, something bad will happen.
Remember when we came to visit Syracuse? I think it was April, and there was like a snowstorm.
Yeah,
in April.
it's like, oh
And we were
man.
like, this is where we're going?
So, all right. So Michael picked today's verse. It's very nice. I have the tendency, though, that once I start talking, I don't stop talking. So before I can start talking, I'm going to glorify the gurus. So if you know these prayers, chant along. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-Shalakaya Chakshanu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Didati Sampadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Madhava Sagana Ladita Shri Vishakambhitascha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Namaskate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhani Sute Devi Pranamami Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. The Mahamantra together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Namaskara Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvidesha Shunyavani Prashtaya Deshatarine. So hundreds and thousands of obeisances unto the previous teachers who have given us this knowledge. This isn't a concocted thing. We're fortunate, even now we're all in here in America, in Ithaca, New York, and we have access to this knowledge only due to the great blessings of our teachers and the Parampara, who worked tirelessly and dedicated their whole and soul life to spreading this mission and movement all across the world. So without them, we could receive nothing, nor can we share anything with anyone else. So first and foremost, offer our obeisances to them. Now let's read Bhagavad Gita. You like your Bhagavad Gita, Richa? How about you, Natalie? Yeah, it's good. It's a good. So Bhagavad Gita is the song of God as spoken by Krishna. And yeah, This verse was picked by Michael today. So this is the verse on Karma Mishra Bhakti, meaning taking our activities and our actions in the world and the fruits of what we're working towards, and Mishra Bhakti means it's mixed with our attempt to do bhakti. Everyone here has heard of bhakti? Someone tell me what bhakti is. Either Richa or Natalie, tell me what bhakti is.
Devotion, total devotion.
They're at the other door, but I think they mean to be. Maybe not.
Maybe,
Maybe they have a guest. I don't know.
So, I thought,
Total devotion.
yes, devotion, love
It's
also.
a total devotion.
Total devotion. That's Ananya Bhakti. This verse doesn't get into Ananya Bhakti. In a few verses it talks about Ananya Bhakti. But this verse is talking about working towards Ananya Bhakti, because Ananya is like total devotion. Because, we have to start somewhere. We can't, I'm in an adult body now. Finally, my body has formed an adult body. But I had to go through many stages of youth, and I couldn't just jump from a 5-year-old body, even though I wanted to. I wanted to be an adult very badly, right? Who remembers this when you were a kid? I can't wait till I'm an adult, right? Am I the only one? Megna's like, I can't wait until my next life I'm a kid again. Maybe so, but when you're a kid, a lot of times you can't wait to enjoy what the adults do. I remember I had so many fantasies and desires to be an adult. But what you learn is you can't just jump to being an adult. You have to gradually go day by day. And so similarly, you might be very attracted to pure devotional service. We hear about it, we see it, we read the books of pure devotees. But then when we really look at our life, in our attempt to practice bhakti, we might find that we still have all kinds of desires for material enjoyment there. So what do you do actually about it? This is the verse that tells you what you do about it. Because realistically, we all are, we're still immature in our cultivation of bhakti. So we have to take what we have, and we have to somehow convert it towards bhakti. And this verse tells you the secret. So, ready? 927. What page is it on this Bhagavad Gita? 384. Okay. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasiyat yat tapasyasi konteya tad kurushva madarpanam. Someone else? Yad karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasiyat yat tapasyasi konteya tad kurushva madarpanam. Mukunda?
Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Yad karoshi yadashnasi
Yajjuhoshi dadasiyat.
yajjuhoshi dadasiyat
Yat tapasyasi konteya.
yat tapasyasi konteya
Tat kurusva marat arpanam.
tad kurushva madarpanam. And any lady.
You look like you want to do it, Richa.
Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Yad karoshi yadashnasi
Yat juhoshi dadasiyat.
yajjuhoshi dadasiyat
Yat tapasyasi konteya.
yat tapasyasi konteya
Tat kurushva mad arpanam.
tad kurushva madarpanam. Yat.
Yeah.
What? Karoshi. You do. Yat. Whatever. Ashnasi. You eat. Yat. Whatever. Juhoshi. You offer. Dadasi. You give away. Yat.
Yat.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yat.
Yat.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Tapasyasi.
Tapasyasi.
Austerities you perform.
Austerities you perform.
Konteya.
Monteya.
Oh, son of Kunti.
O son of Kunti.
Tat.
Tat.
That.
That.
Kurushva.
Purushva.
Make.
Make.
Mat.
Mat.
Unto me.
Unto me.
Arpanam.
Arpana.
Offering. Translation. Oh, son of Kunti. You guys can say.
Oh, son of Kunti.
All that you do.
All that you do.
All that you eat.
All that you eat.
All that you offer.
All that you offer.
And give away.
You give away.
As well as all austerities.
As well as all austerities
That you may perform.
that you may perform.
Should be done.
Should be done.
As an offering.
As an offering.
Unto me.
Unto me.
Purport. Thus, it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. Everyone has to work for maintenance of his body and soul together. And Krishna recommends herein that one should work for him. Everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, he should accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. What's that called? Prasadam, yes. Any civilized man... What?
Why are you saying sorry? Because he said bog. I said, no, the remnants. So prasad.
Oh,
I'm saying sorry. I've always been sorry.
Any civilized man has to perform some religious ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna recommends, do it for me. And this is called archana. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give it to me. And this means that all surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering the Krishna consciousness movement. Nowadays, people are very much inclined to the meditational process, which is not practical in this age. But if anyone practices meditating on Krishna 24 hours by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra around his beads, he is surely the greatest yogi, as substantiated by the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so let's look at the context. The verse before this said, if one offers me with love, another very famous verse, if one offers me with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, fruit, a water, this is a typo in this version, a fruit or water, I will accept it. And then he says, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. And in this way you'll be freed from all reactions to good and evil deeds. And by this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So this is how you'll be freed from your karma. By offering your karma to Krishna. And first in yoga, karma yoga, not being attached to the fruits of the results, doing it out of pure duty. Because many of us, we do things because we're looking for results out of things, right? I'll do this because, I used to work out. I'm going to work out because I wanted to, I wanted a nice lady to appreciate me. Yes, that's what that's what I did. I used to work out for these things. So, but if I'm attached to the results of the lady, then I'll always be disappointed until the lady finally notices me. And then as soon as the lady notices me, then I used to stop working out. So I have no need anymore. I got my fruits. But actually, now I do 15 minutes of exercise every day, but it has nothing to do with the ladies noticing me or my wife noticing me. It has everything to do with, actually this is what I'm supposed to do. It's a duty of mine to keep my body in a certain level of shape or standard to perform its duties and services in the world. So you could say this is karma yoga, doing the duty without being attached to what the results of that will be. And the results are nice, that's why most people do certain duties, because the results are needed. But you're not attached to the results. Now, even better is if you take that working out, instead of having some goal in mind, okay, I want a lady to notice me, or okay, or even it's just my duty, I should definitely do this. You make it as an offering unto Krishna. Okay, I'm going to keep my body healthy to do service. I have lots of devotional activities that I am planning in my life. Let me keep my body healthy for this. So this is all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, all austerities you may perform should be done as an offering unto me. We have all kinds of responsibilities to give gifts in this world. We just had a baby shower, but sometimes when we invite people to our baby showers, then they invite us to their baby showers, and then things like that. So then we're expected to give gifts. I don't know what you gave to Samantha.
Didn't happen yet.
Yeah. Well, whatever you give, we should try to give something that's offered to Krishna in some way, and then that way we can actually fulfill the import of this verse. So come Christmas time, we try to give gifts related to Krishna, or even indirectly, even let's just say they connect to Krishna through Christianity. Something that'll increase their impetus to practice spiritual life. So these are some ways, things that you can do. We all have the tendency to give some charity away. I want to help a good cause. Some people like to go down to the food kitchen or the soup kitchen or this, that, and the other. But what's really the best thing you could do is support the devotional work out, Help the devotees, sponsor books. You can give books and knowledge to people. Prasadam distribution, even if you do want to, support, feed people. Feed them prasadam, feed them food that you offer first to the Lord, and that the Lord can, empower and infuse His self into that food, and you're giving people the Lord. Actually, this is one of the arts of bhakti yoga. That's why if you ever notice, maybe when you first started coming, we were like, eat, please eat. Why? Because the devotees, we have full faith that if they just take a little bit of prasad, they're getting Krishna's mercy. This is our conviction. So that's why we're always emphasizing people eat the prasadam, because it's none different than Krishna. Krishna has infused himself into that prasadam. So we should only eat prasadam, even if we have a long day out away from the gang. Tanmay, what are you doing over there? You okay? I know. But even if we're away from, we're out all day, we have work, we should try to eat only prasadam. Why? Because this is what's going to mold our consciousness. So, these are some ideas, but maybe we should hear from you guys. What are some ideas you have towards how you can do things in your life? And you might have some great ideas. How you can take your life and somehow make it an offering to Krishna. Because this is the beginning work, It may not be pure bhakti. Pure bhakti would be very nice. Richa was talking about total devotion. Hey, Richa, welcome. So Richa was talking about total devotion before. But to get there, you might have to, just like we had to get to Ithaca, we had to take a few routes and roads. And along the way, it's not like, all right, well, I came halfway, so let's stop here and have the program here. No, the program was here, in this address. But we had to take all the routes and the roads to get there. So pure bhakti might be over here. It is in the, you could say, Goloka Vrindavan. Or even, you may, there may be an avenue in this lifetime where you can get to it. But you start here. You start where you're at, what you're doing. How can you offer it to Krishna? How can you offer what's going on right now to Krishna? In some way, shape or form. And these are small victories. And this will train you. This becomes your habits. This will become your character. And the next thing you know, you may look down at your life and be like, wow, I've reached a pure devotional state than I even thought possible. We'll see. Can I actually get more water? Is that possible? Michael's got it. Everyone. Sita, I'm so used to asking Sita for these small favors, but now that she's growing, it's getting more difficult.
It's getting more difficult to move.
So.
Grunting.
Put it under either the middle one or the one to the right. The middle one is supposed to be room temperature, but it's colder than that.
Yeah. So what are some ideas from you guys? Or even if you have questions, you can have questions or ideas. about how you can think. Thank you.
This isn't my idea, but I read somewhere that even if you can't like chant full rounds at work, if every 10, 15 minutes you just chant one Maha Mantra, your place of work will become more Krishna conscious.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, if you're at work, take some time, just reconnect. Last night I had a really weird experience where Airbnb he booked for today, but then he showed up last night and we were like, oh,
At 10.
at like 10 at night, and then I had to stay with him, and then it was a whole big thing. He wanted to bring more guests, and then he wanted to go to the attic, and he didn't want to pay the price of the attic, and it was a whole big jumbling, and I was getting frustrated actually, because like I want to go to bed, I want to get up early, I want to do my bhakti practices, but now Krishna has me with this guy, and all because, you know, I have to make some money in this world, and I was like dreading my duties. It was like, but actually there was a moment where I was on the phone with Airbnb, and I was just trying to get her to do the thing, but she was taking forever, and I just like turned to Krishna in my mind, because I didn't want to disturb him, because his name was Muhammad, he was a Muslim guy, and I didn't want to just immediately start like chanting mantras. He didn't know what I was doing, you know. So I was just like praying to Krishna like in my mind, like, and I was actually appreciating like, yeah, this is why all these worldly duties, you know, they're frustrating, because they take you away from like, I had it all set of how I was gonna plan my night. I was gonna go to bed decently early, get up and do my practices, but no, it didn't work out that way. But I took a moment and just prayed to Krishna in that moment, silently, while I'm on hold with this Airbnb lady who was taking way too long to do her job. I was really hoping she would be swift, but Krishna really wanted to test me last night. And so anyhow, yeah, it makes you more Krishna conscious. You know, you might do that at work. You might have all kinds of ideas. Boom, take a break. Yeah, you might not get a whole round done, but if you could just get something in there, it's good. You can bring a book. You could just read a passage. I got a minute. Boom. Something like that. Just something in your day to like remind you that, hey, your life is spiritual. The things you're doing are for spiritual reasons. You know, this is necessary, you know, to at least make your bhakti, at least make your karma, your activities more bhakti infused, so that you're actually doing them to sustain your bhakti. You know, we have so many things. I mean, I don't like dealing with money at all, but some money has to be dealt with, or else we can't maintain the places that we do bhakti. You know, if Mukunda's not here making money, there's no lights on, there's nothing is here to, you know, be facilitated. So he has to do something. So these are some ideas, at least in my life. But what are some of your ideas or questions or something? Maybe we can all help each other get ideas.
I was just thinking, it's just a small thing. It's not like a comment or question. I guess it's a comment. But when you were talking about like the how you were frustrated last night, and I get frustrated quite regularly. But we've been doing this book distribution seminar, and this Navita Nirda, who was running it, was but mentioned, you know, like, we try so many ways to be comfortable here and try and, you know, I want to go to bed, I want to get up early, we had all these plans. But the material world is like, actually, it's meant to do that. It's meant to frustrate you, you know, because it's supposed to help you realize, like, this isn't my home, this isn't like the place of like happiness and things. So actually, like, to then pursue how to have a life that's not frustrating and not, you know, it's kind of a hopeless endeavor because it's just the nature of it. I mean, the more Krishna conscious we are, the more that we see it's actually just part of Krishna's kind of Leela anyway. You know, we don't get as frustrated, but at the same time that, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, something like that.
I like that point because often I'm like, well, I did this and I did that so I could do this, and then, you know, Krishna has some other plan and sends someone randomly to the house and or does something like that, you know, and then you have to, all your plans change, but Krishna always has the best plans. So.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. When we were in India, almost every day except one day, I think we went to bed after 10. We were in bed by like 8:30 every day, up 2:30 something in the morning.
I wasn't up at 2.
Yeah, she's pregnant, dealing with this thing.
I was up at like 6:30.
The interesting, like, I come back here, and even though I try to arrange my life in every such way, it just keep Krishna keeps knocking the bedtime later and later and later and later, and I'm less and less effective. Yeah, but this is, the nature of this world. Is that for someone?
No.
Next door.
Yeah.
Okay, we should tell all them to come here. It'll be better for
They're
them.
getting the vibes and because I'm sure they can hear through these walls, right?
Yeah, the
All
vibes.
around.
Just go back to chanting Hare Krishna again. Some more ideas. How can you guys all eat stuff? Anyone not eat here? Besides
Magna might not.
Magna doesn't eat a lot.
For her austerities.
Yes, that's true. So, even who here eats? Who here refrains from eating? Magna. And sometimes we do Ekadashi fasting. But this is, so a lot of times we do austerities. A lot of times we, when I used to do bodybuilding, and not a lot of people know, I used to do bodybuilding in my previous existence.
Where'd you think this funny?
Oh, that's so funny. What is so funny about that?
Why will you do that?
Yes, that's a good point.
Big American ego thing.
Yeah, because I was doing my austerities for some fruits because I wanted some lady to notice me. That was mostly why I was doing this thing. So
he was overweight, like high school and into college, and then he wanted ladies to like him. So then he went very hard at the gym. And
yes. So we do all these austerities, but instead of now, still we're doing austerities. I used to do 3-day fasts to regulate my weight and all these things. But now, there's all kinds of fasting days in the year. You can do all these things for Krishna, to deepen your Krishna consciousness. There's the Ekadashi Vrat. You've all heard of the Ekadashi, right? Ekadashi Vrat. Even on Gaura Purnima, many people fast all the way up until moonrise. That's, every appearance day of the Lord you can fast. All these things. If you want to do austerities, do them for Krishna. You'll get the best result that way. What's the best result? What will you get? If you do things for Krishna, what do you get? Yes. In the next verse it says what you get. What does it say? It says, in this way you'll be freed from all reactions to good and evil deeds. And by this principle of renunciation you will be liberated and come to me. So that's very nice. Excuse me. Liberated. What's liberated mean?
Freed from all the material desires and miseries.
Yes, that accompany them. So, anyone here suffer? Richie, you ever suffer? Always. Yes, she's a very honest girl. Natalie, you ever suffer?
Yeah,
A lot. Yes. Okay, good. So if someone said, "Oh, no, you're in the material world," but if someone said, "All right, I'll take that from you," you'll be happy?
It would depend on the context.
Yes. But in this context, he's trying to help us, trying to let us be free from these sufferings. Actually, do you know what causes our sufferings? What? Yes, our ignorance. And what do we do out of ignorance that causes our suffering?
Try to enjoy what's
Yes, but
ours.
before we can even enjoy, we conceptualize what to enjoy, right? What's that called? Yeah, we have material desires. We have desires for enjoyment in all kinds of elaborate ways, and this is what's causing our suffering.
Thinking, feeling, willing.
Yes, our thinking, feeling, and willing. So ultimately, this is what's causing our suffering, because we have a misconception of what we do. There's a verse in the Bhagavad. It's a nice verse. Actually, every time my wife gets a little worked up about something in life, I like to chant this verse about her. Not about her, to her. Like the other day, she was right, but she was all worried for Gaura Purnima. They were doing work outside that our water wasn't going to work for Gaura Purnima, and she was like coming to me all like excited about it. And
I think I just mentioned it, right?
And immediately.
And then literally,
and then the water went right off, and I was like, oh man. But my answer to her when she got excited was this verse. And it goes, Bayam dvitiya viniveshatasya isharapetasya viparyayo smriti tanmayato tanmayato buddha abhajetam bhaktyayaka yesham gurudeva tatma. And what it means is, Bayam is fear. We have all kinds of fears. This is just kind of like the root cause of our suffering. We're afraid of so many things like this. We're always in anxiety. Something is not going to go the way that we desire it to go, right? And why is that happening? Dvitiya biniveshata. Because we have a dualistic conception. We're thinking about this thing, we're thinking about this thing, we're thinking about that. But instead the wise, they see thing on the Ananya phase, everything, or the Advaita phase. Everything, instead of Dvaita or dualism, they see Advaita, which means like monism, meaning that everything is God's plan. Everything is connected to God. So why does fear start arising? Because we're not trusting God's plan. Whatever God is putting in front of us, we're not trusting. So anytime that happens, you could just catch yourself. Every time fear is arising in you, oh, I'm not in the Advaita consciousness. I'm not trusting God's plan. Krishna has a plan here. So syad means arising. And then isharapetasya. Why? Why is that happening? Why are we absorbed in dualism? Isha is the controller. Who here do we believe in God? Is that or maybe we don't know, and that's fair. Does everyone here have some spiritual belief? A belief in a higher power? Everyone believes there may be a controller, that this isn't just all some random smorgasbord of just existence, and we don't know why things happen the way it did. Do we believe there's a controller and there's a built-in system of cosmic justice? Do we have that belief? Yes? Yes. Okay, so we believe in a controller. So we believe in an Isha. So Isha apetasya. Apetasya means to turn away from. So we understand there's a controller, but then we turn away. We turn away from the controller. Due to what? Viparyayo asmriti. Viparyayo is misconceptions. We have, for whatever reason, we think we're the controller, and that we need to control this situation, and everything has to be like this, that, and the other thing. And then asmriti, we forget about the controller's existence in all things. This is our problem. We're always forgetting. We hear spiritual knowledge, we read Bhagavad Gita, we get solace. Yes, this is good. This is good, but then we get out in the world and then we forget. We act like we've always acted. Why? Tanmaya. Not Tanmaya. Tanmaya. His, Tan, Maya, illusory energy. Because we're overcome by ignorance or the illusion. So this is our problem. Ato, therefore, Buddha. What's Buddha? Close. The intelligence. Or Buddha here is the intelligent. The intelligent person, abhajet. What's that mean? Bhaj is like worship. Bhajan. Abhajet means one should worship. So therefore the intelligent should worship fully. Tam, him. Now this is the important word. Bhaktyayaka yesham. So there's three words in that. Bhakti, bhaktya. Eka, one pointed. Remember we had We had a problem with Dvitiya. We had dualistic. We're thinking of this thing, that thing, the other thing. We're forgetting the one truth of everything, that God has some plan here. But if we have bhakti, eka, one-pointed bhakti, isham, unto that controller, bhaktiaika yesham. And then we also take this one as important. Guru Deva Tatma. So meaning through the Guru, through the one illuminating that path through us. Who is one's Deva? Actually one's worshipable Lord, Tatma, and soul. This, if you have somebody illuminating the path for you, that's like that's your Lord and soul. They're your one who are always reminding you not to turn away, not to do this ishad apetasya, viparya smriti, misidentify and forget what's really important. And that's what your bhakti should be into. The Guru, because they're the one connecting you to that Advaita consciousness.
Can you do the whole thing?
Bayam Dvitiya?
No. Like, instead of just broken up, can you tell us the
Yes. So fear, again, fear arises due to our dualistic conceptions. Thinking about things separate from God. Because we turn away from the controller. As we turn away from the controller, therefore misidentifying who we are and what reality is, and forgetting our spiritual nature and the reality of God. Why? Through his illusory energy. So therefore, what do? The intelligent, they should worship fully him, the Supreme Lord, with one-pointed bhakti, through the Guru, who is actually one's Lord and soul. This is a verse Krishna speaks to Uddhava in the Uddhava Gita of the Bhagavatam. So, this is what we do. If you want to conquer fear, you find your teacher who's helping you remember to get away. Now we all have you, so I don't know any gurus. I'm not sitting here claiming I can be a guru. I can maybe help you find a guru. I can maybe show you the path. But I'm not anyone. You can't surrender unto me and get a great result. I can't even deliver myself at the time of death. There's no way that I can help deliver you at the time of death. But at the same time, we all have Srila Prabhupada. We all have, I can tell you, look in these books. If you want instructions from a pure guru, they're right here. You just and he's not dead. He's present in his books. And all of the acharyas, they left writings so that we can connect to this pure spiritual consciousness. That's what Bhagavad Gita is. It's left down from Krishna and Arjuna as well. It's not just Srila Prabhupada in his books. He's giving you Krishna and Arjuna. Same with Srimad Bhagavatam. You get so many pure devotees and even incarnations of Krishna giving you different instructions. There are so many varieties of facets of life. So anyway, these are some things. So you'll be freed from your good and evil deeds. You won't have to suffer the reactions of karma anymore, or even get the material results of your good karma. You can learn the process of coming to Krishna instead. And it starts with offering one thing after another thing to Krishna, finding a way to get Krishna involved in the situation. Everyone's got family, everyone's got duties. We got married. So what did we do? We're like, okay, we're gonna make our wedding a big preaching event. We had to do all the things, but it was successful. We had our whole family members chanting Hare Krishna. Actually, it's one of the greatest achievements I have in my life. That wow, we were able to offer that to Krishna. Even the baby shower we just did, we were able to include Krishna in the equation. We had a fire yagya and things like this. But there's so many things, We try to get creative with how we get gifts and what we have to give away and things like that. There's Christmas time, and in Western families, everyone's expected giving gifts. Give some gift that somehow connects them to Krishna. Some way, just something, in some way. You know, prasadam, that's an easy thing. All that you eat, you know. And if you're not eating it, give it to someone else, that they take prasadam. And then they get connected to Krishna that way. So there's so many ways. Mukunda had a nice one about work, finding ways in your school or your work day to get reconnected. Parth and Meghna, I think they're reading Nectar of Devotion, and they're regularly discussing it amongst doing their duties. They're very busy, they're students, but they're finding ways to take breaks and to read and discuss and get recharged. And then they go back and they have to do their duties again. So you find your ways. Tanmay, you know, he has all kinds of work responsibilities and so many things, and he's wondering, well, what should I do? I can go stay with my relative, and I can fully and solely work on this thing. And I'm like, yes, you could, but you'll be in a very dangerous situation because there won't be so much devotional activities happening. So find a way. I mean, we have our program, so people have a way. Okay, you have a weekend, you have some off time, right? We're doing this on a Saturday instead of so many other things people are doing. You know, people want to go, oh, it's a nice day, I want to go for a hike, or I want to go for a run, or I want to see the beauty of the lake, or I'm doing this. But we're here inside this apartment and we're having spiritual discussions about Bhagavad Gita. We're hearing about Krishna. So these are good. This is what we're trying to do. But the more we do this, the closer we get to that pure thing, that pure bhakti. But we start wherever we're at. Whatever you're doing in life, you can do something. Offer it to Krishna. Michael.
I just wanted to say, you know, not just like artificial renunciation, but giving up and offering everything to Krishna is so powerful. Like,
Yes.
for example, your example about Christmas. Instead of you just skipping out on Christmas to go chant, you go and you try to give something that will bring them to Krishna.
Yes.
You offer it to Krishna in this way.
Wow.
And that's so
It's
so nice.
it's the attempt.
But
We've also had the realization that, you know, the more we could avoid Christmas in the future, it would be better.
anyways, just
Yeah.
some sort of example. Just,
Yeah.
it's really-
Actually, what we did this year was we were supposed to go to my family's on Christmas Eve, but it was Narayan Maharaj's disappearance on that day, disappearance day. So, oh man, you know, we felt indebted to Narayan Maharaj and even many of his disciples. So we found out they were doing something 45 minutes from my wife's house at Bhakta Bandhav, and we went there instead of going to our Christmas Eve party.
Which was so nice.
Which was so nice. It was so nice. So yeah, sometimes skipping out if you can, you know. But I knew.
And they handed out Christmas chocolates.
Yeah. So that was very attractive to my wife. But
See that in this context.
no, that's not in this
Actually,
context.
the ISKCON Prabhupada disciples and stuff wouldn't take them, but
Yeah. Anyway.
I did.
Oh yeah, she took.
I also got some soap. They brought one of the disciples from Hawaii brought like a bunch of like handmade like herbal soaps for everyone. It was really nice. It was a nice.
That's
Christmas.
the one in our shower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still use the soap. So anyhow, yeah, no, it was very good. But I knew I could skip that one, but if I would have skipped the next day, it would have been a great disaster in our life. So we had to go, but it was nice actually. Even at my aunt's house, we got to talk to my uncle and cousins about Krishna consciousness. You know, and like that, just do whatever you can. Everyone says stuff. Whatever you talk about, you could talk about Krishna. I mean, and even if let's just say you don't know what to talk about with others, just come and hear. I mean, you're already doing right now on a Saturday. You're spending your time hearing about Krishna, chanting Krishna's names. Are you all reading?
Are we all what?
Reading in your life? Yes?
A little bit.
A little bit? What are you reading?
Sometimes I just pick up the Gita and I'll just read like a verse or a few paragraphs and think about it. And sometimes I'm reading poetry, like different books of poetry.
Okay. Yeah. So if you have this reading tendency or habit, the more there's so many literatures that are so inspiring and so helpful. So just if you were to read, you can perform an experiment. If I can read and take shelter in my time reading, hearing from Krishna, especially Bhagavad Gita is nice because it's the advice of Krishna, especially dealing with Arjuna's suffering, and us too. We're dealing with suffering. Like he's telling just how you can avoid suffering in this verse. Avoid it, and then you can come to him, who's the full embodiment of eternality, knowledge, and bliss. He's Satchidananda. We're all looking for that, an eternal situation in full knowledge and in full bliss, fully illuminating and fully pleasurable. And he has that. He has that thing. But we are, right? The problem was Ishada Petasya. We turn away from that. Or we choose maybe, that sounds too good to be true, maybe. But see, at least check him out. Check out Krishna, If you have the ability to read, pick up, do what Natalie's doing. Pick up the Gita and just read a verse. Or, I like myself, I'm a cover-to-cover reader. That's my tendency, and I like it a lot because usually, especially the Gita, it's a conversation, right? So when you get to the beginning of the conversation and you gradually go through, it helps you to get the context where the conversation's going and why the next part of the conversation, what came before, and so on. So I really like that, just to start a book and just to little by little daily. Like for me, I like setting goals for myself for the day. Like I have so many things I have to do in the day, and if I don't chant a certain amount of rounds, and if I don't read for a certain amount of pages, I feel like I failed. And I will do almost anything to not miss my rounds and my pages. If I have other things I have to do in my life, like, deal with financial things or taxes, or deal with logistics of just managing my material affairs, that's fine. And some things are very, very important. 2 days I have a very important appointment at 11 a.m. that I better not miss. But at the same time, nothing's more important than my rounds and my reading. Like these two are the very, very, they're like the fixed thing in my life. And so if you do like that, if you find the, your activities, if you can find time for your chanting practice and your reading practice, you'll get a lot of inspiration and you'll get a lot of relief as well. Because, as soon as we get wound up in all the other stuff, it just causes us frustration and misery. That's all it does. So we need relief from that. So you have to find ways to just offer what you can to Krishna. Even if it's just a little bit in the middle of a workday, or a little bit in the middle of your schooling, or something like that. And yeah, it's not Michael mentioned Yukta Vairagya. We're trying to be renounced, but the proper way to renounce something isn't to just give everything up. So renunciation, traditionally, it seems like it means to give up this. So like some people might say, well, I'm renouncing my phone. I'm renouncing social media. I meet a lot of people, I don't use social media. Who here doesn't use social media? Anyone? You use social media? Yeah. So we all use social media. Now social media has a lot of bad things. It's actually probably mostly bad. But there is a way to renounce social media properly. And what's the proper way to renounce social media?
Use it for Krishna's service.
Yeah, use it for Krishna's service. You can share things about Krishna. You could even follow things related to Krishna. There's a ton of things I learn, because I follow devotees on social media, and we're getting some inspiration or something like that. You can hear so many things. So like that. My phone helps me in my devotional service in many ways. It also destroys me in other ways because it's like a double-edged sword. And there's many things I don't want to be involved with that I get sucked into. But yeah, you just find whatever you have. You know, this laptop, we're posting the class on YouTube, recording it so other people can hear. Maybe it'll benefit somebody, or maybe it won't. I don't know. But we try to use what we have for Krishna service. We all like to sing and listen to music and things like that. Hear things about Krishna, hear, chanting, bhajans. If you have time to listen to something, listen to something, it could be a wisdom class or a lecture about Krishna. It could be, just chanting, just some really nice chanting. Try and uplift your life by involving something spiritual. And, and what we know, Krishna deeply inspires us. So we're as much trying to hear about Krishna as possible. When you eat, try to eat, if you can, only prasadam, recognizing the value of eating that which is offered to the Lord. This is very important. Like this. And then offer and give away, if you do have the tendency for charity, you can help the temple, you can help, devotees, you might see a cause. There's these really nice devotees we know in Vrindavan, and they take care of all of the animals in Vrindavan. So even if you have, what's that?
Govardhan.
In Govardhan. So even if you have, the tendency to do service to animals, something like that. There's a Krishna conscious way to do that as well, So anyway, I think I don't really have anything else to say. You guys have anything else?
I want to plug that. Anytime you guys feel like donating or something for charity, if you want to do something like that, it's really nice to do on like a cottage or something. If you give a little, they feed all the animals in Govardhan, like the monkeys, the dogs, the little baby puppies. You can see their stuff, the cows especially.
Mostly
anyway,
cows.
That's what they do with their lives. They're a young couple and they take care of the animals of Govardhan. So it's called Pure Cow Seva. Yeah.
It's very nice. All right. That's it. You guys, you feel enlightened? Does anyone?
No.
No. Does anyone remember? We talked about it last Sunday. What was the 3 ways to get mercy? Well, who?
Getting humble before the Guru, asking
Yes.
questions to the Guru, and
Yes.
service.
Rendering service. So we find a elevated spiritual personality, and then do those 3 things, and then you could be in good standing. So that's our job. If we don't have that, we should search. We should be very eager to find a very qualified spiritual personality. Luckily, we're going to be inviting a few this year. We have a few really nice devotees coming over the next 2 months. So you can get excited about that. Please join when they come. How about Gaura Purnima? Does anyone remember the main kind of point? Yes, but why? What's the problem that's we're all facing that's making Trinadapi Sunichana? Yes, Pratishta. We have so much pride. And what does that cause?
Ignorance and
Yes.
Doesn't let bhakti happen endlessly.
Yes. It doesn't let bhakti happen. Why? Because what are we attracted to instead?
Because we are like we have our false ego and prestige basically.
Yes.
Because of that, we are not in a humble mood, and because we are not in that humble mood, we cannot chant incessantly.
Yes. So when we do try to do some type of spiritual process, what is the issue?
That our heart hasn't been cleansed, so we may be trying to do things, but it's not effective.
Yes.
Because of that.
And then oftentimes, when it's the main reason it's not effective.
So we're not tolerated.
Maybe, but it's even simpler.
We're puffed up.
It's even simpler than that.
So we just don't know.
No, even simpler than that. Remember, ishara petasya.
We're turning away from the control.
We're turning away, meaning we don't really even like to do it. We have no attraction for it at all. Yes, this is our main issue. Krishna is giving us himself. He's giving us himself in Bhagavad Gita. He's giving us himself in the holy names. He's giving us a process how we can very easily work towards him, but we don't like it at all. It's, I don't want to chant. I don't want to read. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. This is our problem. And then the reason this is the problem is because we're not humble, because we're not tolerant, because we're not prideless. We have so much pride. We're thinking ourselves so great. And that stems the enjoying tendency. That yes, I should enjoy. Why should anything be done for his enjoyment? Why should anything be done for God's enjoyment? Everything should be done for my enjoyment. It's our issue. It's about me. I don't care about my enjoyment. That is our issue. And then manadena. We're not ready to have respect for all others, because we have this.
Respect for ourselves.
Yes. I'm too busy. We have to get respect for ourselves first. We want people to. I want to be distinguished. This is our issue. So then, in that mood, we can never chant the names of the Lord constantly. So we're not in the right frame of consciousness. So I was reading, we have to be eager for the Lord. We have to be like Yashoda, the story. Oh, there it is, Damodar Lila. Yashoda is trying to tie a rope around Krishna. And this photo isn't showing, she looks very happy, and Krishna even looks kind of happy there. But the, what? Yes.
Yeah.
So, but in the pastime, one, she had to run after him because Krishna ran away. And then ultimately she was chastising him because one, he was naughty, but two, because she really cared and loved for him. And then she had to teach him a lesson so he wouldn't act bad. We were talking about this the other day, how, I think yesterday, how, when you love somebody, sometimes the most humble and proper thing to do is to chastise them, because you love and care about them. You don't want them to act in a way that's harmful to themselves and others. And Krishna was acting in such a way. He was stealing and being a thief and breaking things and feeding the monkeys and lying and cheating, So he is like that. Like he's a naughty little boy. But also, when Yashoda, she bound him, the reason he finally, it was too short every time. But she would try harder and harder and harder, and then sweat was coming. And then eventually Krishna seeing her effort, and it was so infused with love, and it was so infused with her determination that Krishna, his heart melted, and he said, okay, even though all of the universes are within my belly, I will let her bound my belly with this little rope, no problem. So she bound him, and this pastime is meant to teach us. We have to be like Yashoda, and we have to, no, I will achieve Krishna. I will achieve my spiritual goals. We have to have like a greed, an actual greed, like this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to chant this amount. I'm going to read this amount. And I don't care if, sometimes this person might not like it, or that person might not like it, or your job might like it, or something like that. But if it's something really dear to Krishna, you'll do it. And even like when you chant, there can be an intensity in your chanting, and take practice to cultivate. It might take many years. But your chanting is to achieve Krishna. I'm calling you because I want you. I want you in my life, and I want you to reveal yourself to me. And I'm calling, and I'll keep calling and calling and calling until you finally ascend. And you show me, you reveal more of yourself to me. So anyway, these are some things more. Okay? Anything else?
Thank you for for the reminder. Well, you said Christmas and giving something Krishna conscious.
Yes.
So I got my mother Kuntimala, and it broke. And she recently asked me to get her another one.
Oh.
It reminded me, so I ordered it just now.
Very good. Very good.
That's
That's
another one, huh?
Yeah.
that's very good.
Mhm.
Yeah, your mother is very pious.
What?
This is the result of doing devotional activities. Actually, it's you can't even imagine how blessed one is if they have the Tulsi Mala. Natalie, you have a Tulsi Mala? We gotta get Natalie a
I was
Tulsi
just
Mala.
thinking about that recently.
Mukund, do you have an extra one?
I don't.
Next time you come, we'll give you
Actually,
this.
I looked. I think we gave the last one to Michael the other day, so we have to do something.
No, I have these.
Yeah, you have a lot more.
Yeah.
You sure?
I
Yeah.
think so. There are.
In the Pujari room.
Okay, she knows where they are. So Natalie, we got them just for you.
I've also noticed some of them are very small and some, like the ones you're wearing,
Are very
and
thick.
Kundas are very large. Is there a different significance or purpose?
So
Kind of like the personality.
yeah, it depends. Traditionally, somebody who's not initiated into the practice, it's recommend they wear one strand,
Or you can wear two, right?
maybe two, but I've heard one strand. And then someone initiated into the practice is to wear 3 strands. Now the size of them, it doesn't matter much.
That's style.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
the kind of
personality,
personality and
I'm
style.
just big, so if I wear small.
So Mukunda's a large personality, so he has not Mukunda's a larger than life personality. So he will have the large beads. Mine are a little bigger as well, but yeah,
Usually they're like this size.
yeah, that size is the
It's
traditional.
Like standard kind
Actually, our acharyas would wear just like that. So it's not, the bigger your tulsis are, the more devotional you are. Mukunda was going for it.
That's what they told me.
So it's not like that. Just having tulsi on the neck is such an auspicious benefit. So that's one thing. Yeah, it's another thing. Even your style. Like Michael had he has a few nice Hare Krishna shirts and things like that. But even if you just wear like devotional clothing time to time, or when you come to like temple program, these are nice things. You can offer everything to Krishna in some way. You can wear peacocks and things like that. I was just thinking.
But these clothes are from Vrindavan.
Yes, yeah, like that. Find ways to stay connected.
Tilak.
Yeah, tilak. This is very nice. Actually, Parth just started wearing tilak every day, even at work. And maybe I should share these things, but if you saw in the Shastra how beneficial it is to wear tilak, you'd like never, even sometimes I lament, I'm going to sleep without tilak on. Because they say everything that you do with tilak on becomes millions upon millions of times more effective, especially spiritually. So if you're not wearing tilak, wear some tilak, it'll be good.
I don't want to misquote it, but in the Nectar Devotion it also says just someone seeing someone wearing tilak can
Yeah.
have a great effect.
Well, that's where it's coming. It's from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So it's just someone seeing. And actually, that's happened multiple times to us, where we've been out walking somewhere with tilak, and someone stopped and wanted to talk to us and about what we were wearing. Yeah, we've had a bunch of people, like, Americans.
Yesterday at the park, guys.
Yeah, this guy was
We were
really.
walking by him. He was like so disturbed.
He was so disturbed, but.
I didn't see it, but whenever I see it, I can't help but laugh.
but-
But he was like that guy.
But yeah, but even it's good for him to see tilak but yeah, just by someone seeing tilak, they
You
can
could have like purple hair and like
Yeah.
piercings all over your face.
they can distinguish there's something different, and then you can immediately talk to them about Krishna. So
I
these
think
things.
Personally, for me, same as like wearing a dhoti out in public. It's kind of like it starts to kill the ego. When you're wearing, at least for me, when I started wearing tilak every day, it was like, what's that? Why are you wearing that? You have something on your head. You have something dripping down your head.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
get that at work. You have something on your nose.
We were talking
Yeah.
about that this morning. Like I'll go
Yeah.
to the store and sometimes people are like, you have something here. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, you don't have any photos here
No, I didn't know I
of
had
the
this
old
thing.
devotees, but no. But that's why Prabhupada had them all shave and look like Michael's head and things like that, because it really kills the ego. No, sorry, hair distinguishes like how attractive one looks in this world. So if you take away the hair, or even if you turn it like you kind of look like a genie or something like this, you know.
Do you keep the hair there because it's like a strong energy point or something? I wonder
It is.
why.
Actually, yes. There's
Yeah, it's supposed to be right
this
in
is
crown.
the crown chakra. I don't know if you're familiar with the chakra system. And hair actually has to do with one's like psychic energy. And so if you keep the hair just at the crown chakra, instead of the psychic energy pulling out into so many other things, you know, it focuses purely out of the crown. It's said to give Vishnu easy access to you when it's time at the time of death. But also, even in this life, your energy can be focused in that way. Even
At the time of death, you're saying, because you can leave the world like two ways. You can either leave out of the crown, or you can leave
Yeah.
out of the lower chakra.
which is the the rectum,
Yeah.
and
So obviously, if you're leaving out of the crown, it's like a auspicious.
it's a very exalted way to
Exalted
leave,
way.
and the rectum is not so exalted.
Come here, little Jiva.
What?
Come here, little Jiva.
Yes, he'll Krishna, Vishnu or Krishna can pull you by your shika if you have one. But if you're a lady, no problem. But that's why a lot of even ladies, traditionally they would tie up their hair in such a way
Well, it's like
to keep the energy flowing upward. So even the Sikhs, they do this. You see the Sikhs with their turban. Everything is meant to keep the energy flowing upward as well. You know.
even the Shivites, they wrap all their what are they called? Dreads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dreads.
So
like
it's. But yeah, but that's not like the main reason. The main reason is this is, you know, to be pleasing to Krishna. You know, because you know, Krishna's servants, they wear like this. So I want to be one of Krishna's servants. Now women don't actually. It's not part of the tradition for women to wear like this. You know, so no problem. But women, they.
Women already have so much hair, like you know, so you don't have to do that. But it is recommended, like you keep it like tied, because if it's loose, then like you're like it's part of like your shakti, like part of like your energy. So like if it's just kind of blowing it out, then it's like you're kind of like releasing it and sharing it in some ways. Whereas if you keep it, then it's like with you.
I
kind
feel
of
that
thing.
in certain environments where I need to protect my energy more, I feel the need. I do that with
Yeah.
my hair,
Yeah.
but then in some places I need
Yeah, a lot of times women, even in public, oftentimes they'll even cover the head. They'll like put like a
I do that
cloth.
actually a lot in India because I don't feel that safe. So whenever I'm in India, I'm always covering my head.
Yeah.
Because people always stare at me, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm like.
Especially if you
white and-
feel that you're
and so
getting,
I just cover my head because
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm.
if
more
you
like
feel you're ever
protected.
getting unnecessary attention from men, you could keep the hair up and tied, and then you could always put something, a cloth or something, and it's like a defense mechanism.
Well, it
where-
changes the energy.
Yeah, it changes the
Like, it
energy.
takes it from like you being open and like they can
Yeah,
just take and
and
look as they like to you being closed off and it's like a subtle
Yeah,
thing.
you
I think
you
it's gonna-
become less of an object of lust to them. So this is a very skillful thing any lady can do if you want to ever protect your energy. So these are some things. Okay, I think. Anything else? No?
Mahaprasad.
You want to do another kirtan?
No, I said Mahaprasad.
They do another kirtan so I can warm up.
Yeah. Why doesn't someone else do kirtan?
Yes, I'm not doing it. Okay, thank you. If whoever joined online, I don't
And
know.
how do we do